But you got to do the move that he does as he's walking. I've seen a lot of people try and do that. Oh, you're gonna?
No, I like when he walks across the stage strutting.
Yeah, that's the strut that a lot of people are practicing.
A minor.
And don't forget, mustard!
Mustard!
Any other quotes you got?
I think that's
They're
it.
not like us?
We're not like them.
As long as you recognize.
It's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the floor.
You really got to do it.
40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
All right. Welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially. This is the midweek report. And of course, we're doing it news break edition. So that means that this is a tape delayed broadcast. I'm also not on camera. And we are here for the midweek. So hopefully everybody's week has started off well. And you guys have had no negative interactions with the man. And, all is in motion and doing what it's supposed to do. Now, as you are coming into this broadcast, please hit that like button, share this out on your social media if you have not already done so. And if you're watching on X or any other medium right now, this might be on Facebook, come on over here to the beatzillapdx official YouTube channel and subscribe. If you're new here on YouTube, watching on YouTube, you also make sure you subscribe right here to the beatzillapdx official channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell, hit the word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded or premieres. And then you can also support this channel by becoming a member. And if you want to become a member of this channel and get one of the badges that you see, you can do so by hitting that join button, and then you will be part of the B1 Warrior family right here at beatzillapdx official. And you will get your badge that you see, which is the badge of the United Empires of Al-Kebulon. So, that being said, shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon each and every one of y'all that are down with this channel and this movement. So, Brave New World, as we're talking about, amongst a few things. We actually have to talk about everybody's favorite sister girl. I'm said it and I'm gonna keep saying it because it just seems like they are promoting this woman, Jasmine Crockett, to be the voice and face of the Democratic Party, but they're trying to kill two birds with one stone and not only make her the voice of the Democratic Party and the face of the Democratic Party, but also trying to make her the voice of Black America and the face of Black America. See, the play is using that move to get her over that hump to start massaging people's minds as she ages over the next few years to start looking a little more presidential. You know, she starts getting into the mid 40 range. Now she's at that Barack Obama, the type of age that they want her to be, mid to late 40s. Well, it'd be time for her to run. So you get out of the she's too young conversation. And then, of course, the leverage that Black women have held politically against the Democratic Party. That's why you got the faux Black woman in Kamala Harris. And I believe that Democrats now have got to understand, although they're not showing many signs, other than the fact that they are using Jasmine Crockett as the main megaphone of the party. And it almost seems as if AOC is fighting for attention. Remember, they were talking about AOC was possibly eyeing a bid at the White House in 2028. That conversation has since fell out of the media cycle. And what are they running? Jasmine Crockett. Obviously, the powers that be have made a decision, and they have chosen their new golden goose, the Catholic school prep girl that comes from the suburbs in a well-to-do family, and she gets to come over here now and play ghetto girl who got her degree and made it all the way to Washington. So now she could be next in line to be the first Black woman president of America, of the United States of America. Y'all got to understand the play here. Now, we done got the faux Black folks out. And really, if y'all try to find out the history, and this is why they're digging into it now, and now they're having to do a whole bunch of denial. But again, see, this lets you know that they're listening to the grassroots, because it's us that told you she's the one who they picked. And now they come on her finances early. Oh, I ain't worth no $9 million. I ain't worth this and that. I ain't finding the money on you for nothing. So they are looking, it's very much looking like they're looking at putting her. Have you guys even heard them mention Gavin Newsom? If it wasn't for Gavin Newsom doing all of these little stunts and trying to get attention for himself back in LA, would you even be hearing about him? So they pretty much they telling you who they are choosing. They are phoning it in. That 92% of Black woman has propelled Jasmine Crockett to the position she's at right now. I guess for all intents and purposes, somebody around her probably just telling her, don't F it up. Because at the end of the day, this is the move that the grassroots has done, but they most definitely ain't going to be doing with her faux leadership neither. And here's the thing that she's been doing here as of recent. She is really going into trying to mesh illegal immigration into foundational Black American freedmanhood. And it just doesn't mesh. So for me, I'm starting to think that she might come from a Caribbean background, a Caribbean lineage. And, given her appearance, it wouldn't be far-fetched. So, again, I've been asking, because there's some things I see about her that they strike me as Caribbean. Now, they say she was born in St. Louis, but they don't say where her parents are from. So for my St. Louis family, in the late 70s, early 80s, because I think she's born like 1982, in the early 80s, what size population of Black immigrants was in your neck of the woods, and where were they from mainly? Because for us, we didn't have a whole bunch of Jamaican immigrants around. Not in here when I grew up. You know, there were people who had came here, maybe, you know, they migrated here early, and probably because there's some veterans. They came over here and got involved in the service pretty quick. So I don't know how their citizenship, I'm not really certain on how that all happened, but I do know that there was some cats from like, man, what do I say? What's that dude from? I think from Barbados, somewhere around there. Maybe Barbados, one of them smaller islands. But anyway, dude fought in Vietnam. So there's some people, I don't know how but again, they was looking for soldiers and people was getting drafted. So who knows? Maybe that was the way for illegals to become citizens, and I wouldn't know. But it just that's kind of the muddy water of some people's entrance in and citizenship, path to citizenship in this country is because they're veterans. So yeah, I guess that's one to kind of maybe look at some kind of point in time, because I have no clue on how these people did it, but I just know that there were people, certain folks that of course aren't American born, who did fight in some of these wars, especially in the 60s. So they fought in Vietnam. Outside of that, couldn't speak for Korea or World War II or one or anything like that, or Japan. But going back to, and speaking of war, we're talking about Captain America, A Brave New World. And we need it without shills. We need it without people like Jasmine Crockett being forced in our mix. And again, like I said, I believe she's a Caribbean. Well, she's born here, so I believe she comes from a Caribbean background. But that's just me. I have no proof to say. So if you guys do come across some, let me know. But as right now, I guess, we'll say she's from St. Louis by way of Texas. But with that being said, I want to address something that she said earlier today. But we'll do that later. First, I want to talk about Captain America. Because it's real interesting. The Captain America, some people are giving it, I think it's slowly but surely getting good reviews. But there are people it almost seemed like they swallowed their opinion for a minute. Like they didn't want to give an opinion. Maybe some of these I guess because the fandom community is also filled with content creators. So maybe they didn't want to come out and say nothing too off the wall about it. But so far I've seen good reviews, good takes on what people took away from this movie. I will say, one thing about the Captain America for me is, if you guys follow any of Marvel, and this is for the people who, again, you got to have your leisure time as well. So I mean, the time that you are not taking it to the man, as I said, as you're not, you're just in your own time, maybe just kicking back, relaxing, watching a foundational American brother leading a box office movie. So me and my wife made a matinee date out of it. We intended to go, of course, for Valentine's Day on opening night, but Portland was iced over and snowed in, so had to go do it when we could. So we got a chance to get out and go see it Monday. It was really enjoyable. I liked it. My wife liked it. It's of course, the Sam Wilson, his character is relatable. Anthony Mackie absolutely did a great job. He always does, though. He's a good, solid actor. So he always comes through. He even makes bad movies interesting because that he hate me script wise awful. Cast is great. The cast of that movie was great, but it really showed how he can carry a project and he can carry a movie. And I think at this point, now that he has successfully carried the movie, I think we also got to look back and reflect at the fact that he just didn't do the movie, but he set it up with a TV series on Disney Plus. This is how much Anthony Mackie has quietly carried. And I don't think he gets enough credit for doing that because a lot of people have not done that. He took the show and introduced his version of Captain America through his old character. So he took you through being the Falcon along with the Winter Soldier and through the events of that series on Disney Plus. I'm not giving away any spoilers here, except for the fact that that's how he becomes, and it tells the story and gives you the story almost in like, because it's a series, so it's like seeing it real time of him becoming Captain America and how it all goes down. And then also letting you know his relationship with the government, letting you know also about the first Black Captain America that is not invented for these comics. This is actually a comic, a Marvel story. So Isaiah Bradley, the character, and the brother that plays him, they aged that brother up and, you know, he does a great job as well. So I mean, realistically, all of the Black actors in from Falcon and Winter Soldier up through Captain America, absolutely stellar performances. So props and hats off to them. The Isaiah Bradley character and the part that he's playing, especially in this movie, they take a play on the Manchurian Candidate, which, you know, it makes sense. So they used a lot of grounded connections, things that we would be like, oh, okay, we've heard of this type of thing before. And you think about Manchurian Candidate, you think about what we've seen in this movie, and what do we talk about right now? We talk about MK Ultra and these type of things. So we've seen that in the Marvel series, of course, with the Winter Soldier. So they play with that mind control thing, and these are things that we've heard about Russia doing for years. I know those are the things we used to hear all the time as children, because back then, you know, it was still the USSR, and Russia was a lot larger in mass than what it is today. So looking at how this brother Anthony Mackie has really stepped his game up, I think he, with this, kind of raises the bar for where people can see this isn't a Black movie. This isn't a Denzel movie. And yet here's another solid Black male actor, foundational Black American actor, that he brings the community into his character, and it shows. So he's not some you know, real cookie cutter, I'm not finna offend them type of character. He definitely speaks his mind. He definitely takes the patriotic line, but he also keeps with the Black understanding. And I think they have him in position, and you contrast him with Isaiah Bradley, and Isaiah Bradley's character, rightfully so. His character has been, now mind you, this is the first Isaiah Bradley is the first Captain America. So before there was a Steve Rogers, there was Isaiah Bradley. He was a hero. He actually saved a whole platoon in Korea. But, of course, Isaiah Bradley did not have the complexion for that direction that they wanted America to see as heroes. And so couldn't figure out, of course, why all the other people died off that got his super soldier serum, but he was the one that survived, and they locked him up for 30 years and ran all kind of tests on him. And every time he opened his mouth, you're going to hear that they locked him up for 30 years and that they ran all kind of tests on him. And the thing about that for my non-foundational Black listeners, if you don't know what the experience of having an elderly Black relative is that is going through something or has went through something and feels a very strong way about something, every time that something comes up, you are going to hear what that person feels about that something. And that's something, again, that I really appreciate, those subtle things about our culture that can be entered into somebody seeing so we all can relate to, even if everybody else doesn't get it. Because I'm assuming most people be, oh boy, he's just an bitter old Black man. You'd be bitter too if they locked you up for 30 years, kept you away from your wife, did all kind of tests on you, hid your wife's letters to you in prison, and then tell her you did. You understand what I'm talking about? Any of us would be able to say, oh yeah, I know a family member that ain't never gonna let you hear the end of that. So that was a nice, cool touch. Other than that, you know, it spends a lot of time with Harrison Ford's character, which he's playing, of course, Captain Ross, or President Ross. He used to be the general. If you guys watch the Hulk movies or some of the other Marvel movies, he makes appearances. He's in the first Avengers as well. But what they don't tell you, now this will be the spoiler. The guy that's he's the guy that's responsible for the creation of the Abomination. The guy that was keeping, if you guys, when this goes back to the original Hulk movie. So if you guys remember, this guy was storing Bruce Banner's blood. He had like a whole blood bank of Bruce Banner's blood, running tests on it. And then as it ended up, as he got messed up, he got that blood in his head while his head was gashed. And so those gammas turned him into the leader. And so he got this real weird, janky head. They got him looking terrible. Not really comic book accurate, by the way they had him looking, but he has these glowing green eyes. And this guy has been locked up he's been locked up for years since the incident with Abomination and Hulk. So Ross has had this guy locked up. And I guess Ross in this process has had a heart attack. He talks about it in one of the previous movies. And so this guy is a scientist and has been able to manufacture this heart medicine for now President Ross. And the sneaky thing that dude did was he was secretly poisoning Ross with a version of Bruce Banner's blood. So he was able to mix in them gamma rays into the pills. So basically turning Harrison Ford character, President Ross, into a Hulk. And that doesn't happen till the end. But so if anybody's watching this and you think like, oh, well, he wanted to be the Hulk on purpose. He did not. That's not how it takes place at all. He basically secretly poisoned him. And that's how he ends up turning into the Hulk. But it's all because there's some shady business going on because the guy he has in prison is in a off site, what they call a black site, that's supposed to be off the books, and he got a whole prison in there with this guy in there. So that's how that part pretty much plays out. This guy, the leader, he has a way of like activating his Manchurian candidates, like by flashing the phones. Their phones are flashing these screen like lights in certain syncopation. And then this song comes on, and then they just boom, just like that, just zone out and zone in, and start wrecking shop. And man, it was pretty interesting. The action scenes are absolutely great. The things that and the cool thing about Captain America now is it's Falcon as Captain America. So you get him flying through the air using the shield, doing all kind of fancy moves with the new shield and his 2 new suits. So he had a new suit that was made from the Wakandans. Shuri made his first Wakandan suit, which is the white one. And then the one that you see him in right there, that's also made by Shuri, of Wakanda, of course. And she made both of these suits. So both of these suits are vibranium. This suit, I think more so than the white one, it acts like Black Panther's suit as well. So it stores the kinetic energy, and then you can use that as a weapon. So it's pretty interesting. They also use the fact that the brother has empathy and compassion. So he's not just a soldier. They also go into his counseling. So he ends up doing actually quite a bit of that as well. So they show him, you get a chance to see a solid Black male representation in this movie. It's a very, very honorable position. He's not doing nothing crazy, not nothing coonish, not nothing buffoonish. He's not falling all over himself and some stupid, thing put in there for some dumb idea of comic relief. None of that is in this movie. It's a good, solid 2 hours. I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. I believe. Oh, it's something that you could most definitely take the entire family to. You most definitely can take the entire family to go see this movie. Very little cussing. There's some cussing, but very, very little. It is not oversaturated with foul language at all. Of course, it's Disney anyway, so it's not bloody and gory, although there are action scenes and fight scenes, which I guess you could say probably everybody doesn't make it, but it's nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Nothing out of the ordinary. But the action scenes are very good. Clearly they had to use CGI. The CGI didn't look cheesy. So I mean, overall, I'm impressed with it. I'm impressed with it. From my own personal taste, and this goes for the people who actually watched the series. If you watch the series now, they have a real quick picture of his sister, Sarah, but she's not in the movie at all. Isaiah Bradley's grandson, he's not in the movie at all. And for those who would know who he is, if you're up on these characters at all, he also is, he has, I guess, technically for him, he's born with the super soldier serum in him. So he's like, for all intents and purposes, I'm surprised that the government hasn't tried to come take him. But he wasn't in this movie at all. Now he's rumored to be in, I guess the Young Avengers or whatever they're going to end up theming that. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. So I would say most definitely go support. And again, support that brother, a foundational Black American, actually being at the forefront of a box office Marvel movie. I think that right there, just in the timing, Black History. Now it comes out Black History Month too, so how fitting. It comes out on what technically came out Valentine's Day in Black History Month. I mean, it's Black History Month, it's Valentine's Day, you can't really go wrong. So, and then not to mention over the President's Day holiday weekend. So it seems like it was all meant to be. Salute to Anthony Mackie for a great performance. And again, family, I would say go check that movie out. You will enjoy it. I'll try to give you as much of the gist of it without giving too much away. But, it was nice. Another thing, though, that was really interesting, though, just the whole theater experience. The movie was supposed to start at 1:30. Now, we did all of what we were trying to do to get there early, right? Because typically, I'm used to movies, at least the previews start at 1:30. Family. We sat there and right now it's like they have like it's almost like regular TV going on with all the commercials that you might see every day going on, and then finally the movie the what do they call the previews start, and that didn't start till after a quarter till. I don't know what was going on with that, but whatever. I just found that to be interesting. Like, that is new. But but yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool. So go out there, take your family out, take your folks, and go treat yourself and enjoy. Go and support that brother's efforts, and just let the world know that, hey, we're going to come out for our own. But family, if you feel a little jilted by the prices of them Beyonce tickets, I would understand. Boy, I heard them talk about the Beyonce tickets. Like, Lord. Sorry, $5,000. I'm getting on a cruise ship. I'm going on vacation for that with me and the wife. And shoot, if I could work me, that might be me, and we could swing our sons. Man, play with me. I'm on vacation. But there's another problem though with vacations right now. And maybe that's why we need to go ahead and ask Captain America to go ahead and get some wings sent to our houses, because the wings at these airports ain't looking too sweet these days. But there's this video I saw on TikTok. I'm sure most of y'all have seen it right now. In the days where we are having so many aviation accidents and issues, sometimes you just can't do nothing else but lean on the Lord. Let me tell you something. I ain't mad at that at all. I'm not mad, my sister. Shoot, you talking about Jesus take the wheel. You want Jesus to fly that plane. Good Lord. Now, and this is something that, and hopefully nobody has these experiences, but if something is going wrong and these are the things people survive to talk about. But if you're in a situation where there might be a issue with your plane, you will see how fast folks that you thought would not pay attention to anything you ever got to say will be looking dead in your mouth and say, what the black person got to say? That's what they thinking. And what do you think? Because when danger is near, somehow everybody starts, all eyes on us. They act like, hey, let's go talk to him. Angel's going to save him. I mean, this is almost the way people act in these scenarios. I've just seen, I've had the experience of experienced something like that. I can't say fortunate, but I've been in that scenario to experience it. They'd be hanging on your every word. Like, all I can do is lean on the Lord. So when y'all get out there and be like, oh man, I don't believe in this and I don't believe in that. Let me tell you something. In the face of danger, them folks look at us and be like, oh yeah, if the Lord was going to save anybody, he going to save them. Just, you won't see it any other time. But let danger arise when you around everybody else. Boy, you will see it. Hey, what do you got to say? What do you think? All of a sudden, this lady don't look so crazy. Now, and what else I wanted to speak on? Real quick before we get there, though, there's a few pieces of news. You guys remember this guy that, for some reason, thought that after watching Fat Joe's debacle and Busta Rhymes have to take that back step of shame, Charleston White, he actually hasn't had much more to say about foundational Black Americans since he started trying to go after Tariq, and then I guess he thought he would go after everybody, and had to realize that, no, you're talking about a lineage, idiot. And, this is the guy that can't nobody tell, no, you can't tell me nothing. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. I'm a tell. I'm a tell on all y'all because I'm this, I'm that, and I got this. And okay. Well, now Charleston White has been arrested on 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and is currently being held without bond. And this is from the No Jumper X account. Imagine that. Imagine that. Man. Oh, well. Charleston. Never crap where you eat. And your community is where all meals are served. If you think that you eating out tonight, they have got you fooled. But now you're living reality and living the truth. Should learn from that and maybe just kind of look out for your people versus looking down on them. Now, next, that man that shot the young was it Ralph Yarl, and that old man that pled guilty, he just croaked. Didn't even get the chance. I don't even think he's even in custody. Ain't even got a chance to turn himself in. And he out of here. Douche. Oh, well. No kind words for him. Just letting you know the news. Letting you know the news. Oh. Okay, so we're going to be spending some time on the Democrats here. Let me let you hear this. If you guys missed the very, very first video I played in this broadcast, let me play this for you real quick.
But you got to do the move that he does as he's walking. I've seen a lot of people try and do that. Oh, you're going to?
No, I like when he walks across the stage strutting.
Yeah, that's the strut that a lot of people are practicing.
A minor.
And don't forget, mustard!
Mustard!
Any other quotes you got?
I think that's
They're
it.
not like us?
We're not like them.
As long as you recognize.
Yeah, we're not like them. You know, I wish more people understood that message so clearly, like that Caucasian gentleman just did so eloquently, like, we're not like them. Hey, everybody, take a lesson. He knows what the song means. Oh, yeah, we're not like them. He could enjoy the song. He can enjoy it. But, yeah, I can't. That's not me. I'm not like them. So for all of you that keep trying to, well, you went out there for months misrepresenting what this song meant, you still do have a clear indication of what it is. I mean, I guess there's still people that are going to do what they're going to do anyway, but never forget.
It's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the flow.
You really got to do it.
40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
Yes, indeed it is. And speaking of bigger than the music, Essence and BET, I guess they have been activated to, hey, you guys got to get out here and start representing. Well, Black entertainment television or bogus extra trash, because it's no longer Black owned. That's Viacom owned. It's Black targeted programming, not Black owned programming. And what they want is to push what they want. Now, we know we are in the midst of Black History Month. Essence already put out some weird video where Essence is rogue. They've went completely rogue. Essence is talking about New Orleans cultures, about Caribbean, and it's real weird. And also going back to Africa. Remember our old space with the dude trying to talk about jazz in New Orleans was based in the Congo and all of that garbage. And then we had to actually bring folks' relatives, shout out to our brother Sage, bring people's relatives to correct stories about people's histories. So here's another thing that needs to be corrected. And it's also very interesting that they're doing this. But I would like to say, before I play this video, Kamala Harris is not a Black woman. Kamala Harris's daddy is not a foundational Black American man. He's not even a Jamaican Black man. Her mother is not a Black woman. Both of them were immigrants. And at the time that they had Kamala Harris, were not citizens. So Kamala Harris, being born here, having the luxury of running for office, the highest office of the land, with her parents having had an anchor baby, taking advantage of the 14th Amendment meant for the descendants of chattel slavery, the descendants of those freedmen. Well, Black entertainment this year tells you one of the greatest achievements of Black folks in America is Kamala Harris.
Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before.
BET in essence, Kamala Harris is not a Black American woman. And I don't even know why we're telling that lie now. That lie is so crazy to tell. But you did it anyway. So just wanted to point that out because it really makes no sense to be doing. But yeah, I guess we're just going to do whatever because that really makes no sense, you know. But these people don't give a crap. They don't care. So moving along in this week's news. Tamara Mowry, whatever you want to say. Her husband that came out of his mouth sideways and said some slick stuff about Black folks in grocery stores. Well, he's saying, and he's saying as a 5-year-old, he remembers seeing people going in and out of the grocery store with misusing food stamps. Let me see. Let me find his tweet. This is very interesting of a statement to make. Let me see. Where you at, buddy? Oh, here we are. Okay. So this is Tamara Mowry's Mara or whatever. Tamara Mowry's husband. This is Adam Housley. Adam Housley said, as a kid who grew up in neighborhood grocery stores since I was 5, I can't tell you how many times I saw people come in and buy crap food for their kids with food stamps. Then open the wallet and use cash for liquor, beer, wine, and cigarettes. Then there were those who would repeatedly buy a lemon or a lime, get change and walk out the door, throw them away, and do it again until they had enough change to buy cigarettes or alcohol. As a kid, it would piss me off because there are some people who could really use the help. And then there are these others working the system. And as a kid, that's what he felt. That's what he felt as a kid. And we're to believe that's what he was compelled to feel at 5 years old. Well, he says since 5. But again, how would you know people even would be able to use that money to get help? And even though, has there been any question or how shall I say, any type of news to tell you that they were running out of money for food stamps? See, when people say, well, somebody else could use it, somebody else is going to get it. And as a person who has always made too much money for any kind of assistance, except for maybe on some few occasions. And let me tell you, you go in between jobs, they know you got your first check. So then they already trying to cut you off. And if they don't catch you to cut you off, then they're going to garnish you for the other money. So let me tell you about that. So the people that need it, well, hell, I needed it at the time, but didn't get a chance to do that, huh? Well, I mean, I guess I did. But then they were like, well, yeah, this is what we calculate. And yeah, you kind of went over because you started. Okay, I got you. But this is how the low guys get done, right? They're talking about, I see people come in there with food stamps and do this. Food stamps have been a card for quite some time. So he's talking about seeing this as a kid. Do you know that has to be the line from his parents or whoever was there, since he said he grew up in grocery stores. So whoever was around him had this negative idea about black people. Then he goes and marries this one.
Like, there are some people who think that my husband is racist because he worked for a certain channel. I'm going to look in that camera right there and let everybody know my husband is not a racist.
Boom, and you will
that
defend
is
that.
what,
And you will
that is...
So Kev on stage, you know, he comedian. He did a little baby piece. He did the 5-year-old kid perspective. And I think I'll share that with y'all right now. Check this out. Shout out to Kev on stage.
Just had another long day at the grocery store, and I can tell you as a 5-year-old, I am sick of people using their stamps to buy crap food for their kids. And then they open up their wallet, they're buying liquor, wine, beer, and cigarettes. And then they use their stamps and they buy a lemon or a lime and go outside, throw it out. Come inside, buy a lemon or a lime, throw it out. Until they saved up enough change to buy liquor, wine, and cigarettes. You know what? These systems are for people who need them. And then you people are just abusing them, and it's not right. And as a 5-year-old, I'm not concerned about toys and cartoons. I'm concerned about the systems and their exploitation and equal access to the labor market. Food insecurity in America, y'all. Not DuckTales. Woo-hoo, no.
Oh man. Let me tell y'all. Why did she put her little black voice on? Listen to that.
Like, there are some people who think that my husband is racist because he worked for a certain channel. I'm going to look in that camera right there and let everybody know my husband is not a racist.
Boom, and you will...
Lord. My husband? What y'all be talking about? So, tell me about my husband. Oh, no, you don't. No, you didn't. What? I can't. It's cringy. I mean, it's cringy when the other one doesn't. She actually married her black man, still trying to blacken it up. But this one here, it's like, come on, man. You married Fox News guy. You married Fox News guy. Come on, man. Come on now. Now, speaking of the news, there have been some things popping up in the news, of course, with the Democrats and all of that, their madness. Kathy Hochul has been catching some heat, and rightfully so. And she's hella defiant, actually, which I find that kind of interesting of how defiant Kathy Hochul keeps trying to be against, President Trump. And they're actually doing the same thing here in my city. They're or I guess state. We're gonna come against him. I don't think they are understanding something. You are coming against the country. You're not coming against the president. The president is only simply heeding the voices of the public, which the Democrats refuse to hear. The Democrats went with this agenda: abortion, 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 abortion. Let's put trans boys and girls in the girls' sports and locker rooms. Who cares about a bathroom? So what? This guy has a penis. He should be able to go in that bathroom with your little girl and you be okay with it. If you have a problem with it, you are transphobic. And guess what? America said hell to the no. We ain't transphobic. We got common sense. And common sense started prevailing, and now people don't know what to do with themselves. One thing I'll say is get out of fantasy land. The tides have shifted, and you really shouldn't be bucking up against the government.
At 1:01 p.m. today, the U.S. Department of Transportation emailed us a letter from Secretary Duffy announcing their attempt to end the congestion pricing program in the state of New York. At 1:58 p.m., President Donald Trump tweeted, "Long live the king." I'm here to say New York hasn't labored under a king in over 250 years. And we sure as hell are not going to start now. The streets of this city where battles were fought, we stood up to a king, and we won then. And we will, in case you don't know, New Yorkers, when we're in a fight, we do not back down, not now, not ever.
Interestingly enough, King doesn't reside at Pennsylvania Avenue. So if he says it, see, they do this crap, hang on every word. Oh, he tweets, "Long live the king." There is actually a king right now, and that'd be King Charles. Of course, you just take it that it's him, but hey, whatever. And we haven't toiled under a king for this long, and blah blah blah. Listen, you guys still kiss the royal family's ass. That's one thing we do. America has to do that. America can't even boycott certain governments, namely Israel. But I mean, y'all want to sit out there and boycott the government that's friendly with America? Then they could prosecute you. You talking about boycotting them anti-black folks over there? What you talking about? Don't you be there talking about that? I mean, there's laws on the books that are tyrannical, to be quite honest. But, I guess as long as it protects certain people, it's okay. And speaking of protection of certain people, you would think the Democrats, they would have figured out, you might want to focus in on your black Americans. And here's something that I hope the Democrats are learning. Look at who's on your screen. That's Captain America. That's a foundational black American man. Right now, you even got Stephen A. Smith telling the NBA is an American-born sport. Making a European the face of the NBA is not the way to go. But see, that just demonstrates the further disrespect to foundational black Americans. And once we start collectively resisting that and pushing back against that notion, then I think we'll be that much farther. But in turn, all we do is have people that are supposed to be representing us say, "Oh, well, here's blackity black, 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 but we got to protect this other group over here. We got to worry about this group. And then something happens to black folks, we still got to help this other group over here. And that's what we need to protect." So now when you see these people coming out, they're talking of Jasmine Crockett is only out there for other people. She is not out there talking for black people. She gets out there using black folks as a prop. And that's disgusting and despicable and treacherous and treasonous of her to do. So with that also being said, these are the type of things that these people are fighting for. And let me show you what this black man, this black father, comes into this particular room to say.
Hello, Navarro, suck any good lately. What's wrong, Navarro? I think you like a big in your mouth. Ha ha ha. Page 23. The other boy, page 23. Here it is. What's the educational benefit of talking about the What's the educational benefit of talking about that? Is that going to help someone on the SAT score? Hear me time. Get a shot of that. She can care less. That's a sign. She needs to put down her sign. For a second. Oh, you're putting me out. For what? For asking you to abide by the rules. A board member held up a sign, but the audience couldn't hold up signs. This is tyranny, and we're dealing with a corrupt government system.
See, here's the thing. I want you to pay attention to the defiant people here. These are all the people that have to show themselves for the agenda that they really have been pushing, which they use black faces to do. But now you have a black man coming in there and they want to put him out. Why? Because he's telling them they need to abide by the same rules. They don't want to because they don't have to. So what he needs to do, after reading from the book that they have in their children's library, that woman says that's inappropriate language. And the problem that they're presenting and that he's talking about is, why is this book allowed in the classroom? Is learning how to have a in your mouth going to help you on your SATs? Is having something up your is that going to help you on your SATs? I don't think so. And what he just read is from a book that's in their library. Why the hell is that there? So this is what they push for. But let's be clear. The very same people that are going to be defiant and buck against the system and not take these crazy over-sexualized materials out of the school, they're fighting for that to stay. But when it was Black history books, Black writers getting their stuff removed, these very same Democrats stayed silent and have been silent to this moment, Jasmine Crockett. So we can't say they're trying to ban history. You haven't done anything about it. And you're not doing anything about it now but talking loud. That's all she does. Oh, man, if you've noticed, Jasmine Crockett is absolutely void of solution. There's no solutions in anything she's talking about. Never. Never is. Absolutely never. And she gets away with it because people are like, oh, man, look at her. She cooking him. Oh, man, see, she cooked him. She's a doggone attorney and a politician. Why am I overjoyed at somebody who is in a political office talking sassy? That's the best we can do of a sign of strength? This is insane. Now, you believe that this woman gets up in her courtroom and argues cases before judges like this? No, and the annoying tone too. That's another thing. Maybe that's it for me. Her voice is a hell of annoying. Oh, but before I get to her, I actually have to get to, I guess, one that would be considered to be kind of a colleague, or I guess I don't know how you say upperclassman, but you know, he's one of the veterans there that they were looking to promote. That I obviously don't think it's going to work out that way. But let's see and hear from Minority House Speaker Hakeem Blackenstein Jeffries.
Is making America weaker across the world and creating the space for people like China and Russia to step in while hurting everyday Americans.
And really, what I have to say is that all of the tailor-made hand gesture and purposely pointed out phrasing, I want to make sure all of you understand that this guy is a complete and utter fraud of a knockoff of Barack Obama.
Captain Chaos and extreme MAGA Republicans spent last year promising to lower the high cost of living and running away from Project 2025 as if it didn't exist.
No, they never did act like it didn't exist. They said that he wasn't part of Project 25, nor was it in his plan, and it's still not. So there's that. But you guys are stuck on Project 2025 still. Why? I don't know, because you can't vote against it now. So maybe focus on the people. But Hakeem Jeffries, see, this is what Captain Chaos and the MAGA extreme right Republicans wanted to do, and gut this here and cut this there. Dude, whoever took him to Barack Obama's speech school, they need to be fired, because this is horrible. And what's with the Mona Scott hand gesturing?
They've spent this year implementing the most extreme parts of the Project 2025 agenda, which will hurt the American people, while doing nothing.
Illegals.
Nothing, not a single thing, not a single bill, not a single idea, not a single plan to lower the high cost of living. In fact, the cost of groceries is going up, not down.
Yeah, but you guys have been in power for the last 3 years, so why are you talking about that now? We needed to hear about how great it's been, because really, realistically, here, eggs are down in my neck of the woods. Gas is down. I notice how you guys conveniently keep going around that price. Why aren't they talking about gas prices being down? Oh, also another thing that's miraculously went down in my town, rent. Yeah, I can't help but notice that. A lot of things have changed real quickly. So when you're saying we haven't seen this, we haven't seen that, I'm in Portland, Oregon. I can tell you I have. So why? What do you mean? Maybe in every place in America it's not happening, but I can tell you here we're seeing it. That's why there are less and less protests. You can't argue with the change. And on top of that, you what do you mean? We're not getting better with eliminating all these illegals? Last person to drop that I had a delivery from was Robert. I ain't seen a foreign name in a minute. I have not seen a foreign name in a minute, y'all. So yeah, what is this dude talking about?
Including, but not limited to, the price of eggs. We've got to hold the Republicans accountable, and we will, for the lies and the broken promises that they've told to the American people.
But we are not going to hold Joe Biden accountable for the promises that he told Black America that he didn't keep. As a Black man sitting up here talking, we're going to hold them accountable, but you didn't hold the previous administration accountable. I don't care about what y'all talking about. And I think this shows you right now, just look on your screen. That is the face of being out of touch. That is the face of being out of touch. I will cut him off right there. We don't need to hear the whole thing. You got it. You got what you needed. Whew. Frankenstein is unbearable, y'all. Yeah, see, what I have to tell you is, see, the MAGA extreme right, he can't get through anything. The extreme right MAGA and MAGA extreme right and the right and MAGA. Golly, dude. There's life outside of extreme right MAGA. Can we hear something? Well, but they didn't actually fulfill their promise. Okay, well, what are you going to do? Well, they didn't fulfill it. Okay, right. Hey, Hakeem, what are you going to do? Well, see, Trump and his extreme MAGA right Republican. Okay, gotcha. Just want to sit up here and scream about you lost. And that's really all this is. That's all they keep doing. And I think, again, like I said, they're trying to massage everybody into this idea. Jasmine Crackett's the next big thing. She's a sister girl and a Black woman that's going to come and show her strength to y'all. And if y'all ain't liking her, then you just must hate Black women. Then show us her husband. Because y'all know she married, right? Who is a politician that can absolutely keep her husband hidden, but they want to propel her to the White House with leaving out whoever the hell she's married to? Are you kidding? And if you know she's married to a Black man, oh, you count that out. Oh, he's going to be first man? So yeah, let's see how that works out. But in the meantime, I want y'all to take a look at this first clip. They keep trying to push Jasmine Crockett off as sister girl, the home girl. She's a home girl that everybody knows and the home girl that everybody wants. Well, I'm going to tell you like this. In 2025, I don't know no black woman that's going to put on this blouse.
I am tired of the white tears. Listen, if you are competent, you are not concerned. When I walk into Congress every single day, you know why I don't feel a way and why you can't make me doubt who I am is because I know that I had to work 10 times as hard as they did just to get into the seat.
Look at that
when you
shirt.
Look and you compare me to Marjorie Taylor Greene or me to Lauren Boebert, there is no comparison. And that is the life that we have always lived. So the only people that are crying are the mediocre white boys that have been beaten out by people that historically have had to work so much harder. This is why they don't want us to have education. This is why they are trying to literally say we won't fund the HBCUs because they know that if they've already gone after affirmative action and they're saying, you know what, don't allow them to come into, say, these PWIs, as we call them, don't allow them to come into these institutions. We know why they created the HBCUs in the first place. It was because they wouldn't allow us into the white institutions. And so now they're not allowing us in. And now they're saying, you know what, we're also going to defund the HBCUs. You know why? Because they don't want any more Kamala Harrises. They don't want any more Jasmine Crockett's.
By defunding HBCUs, they don't want any more Kamala Harrises. They could close the borders and not have that. I think that's the whole spirit behind the original intent of the 14th Amendment, actually, is to cut things like that off, Sister Jasmine. I guess that didn't dawn on you, though, but, you know, hey, you're a lawyer. You're smart enough to know. Right? So I'm not going to say you just missed that truth by your ignorance. I'll just say you did that on purpose. But whatever. I don't know, white boys and this and that. See, she's really doing the most. And they think about what they roasted and how they just canned Tiffany Cross over trying to check Tucker Carlson. And here this black woman is coming out here all sassy on every medium she can be, talking about a bad built, bleached blonde body, which, you know, that bad built line, which she's kind of made popular. I'm telling y'all, that came from Tariq Nasheed. That literally came from Tariq Nasheed. Matter of fact, I believe that's what he would say about Michi X. Of course, with not the bleach blonde, but there was a woman, if y'all remember that white woman that called into Tariq. Come on, man. Now, and then shortly after that, she's doing, bad bill, beach blonde. And then she looks over. I'm telling you that she's using used material because we know that material came from the grassroots. So this is my thing with that whole sister girl routine. She has to study y'all. Sisters, she over here, they probably got all kind of, she probably got tapes on tapes of spaces just going over things that you to like learn. Well, this is how we need to start addressing any lingos. They probably got people just listening for like lingos and stuff like that. Because again, Roland Martin most definitely got it right when he said that he said Donald Trump was ear hustling. No, family, when we are speaking loud and clear, it's just that he turned his ear to what we are saying. And that's why everybody else has a problem. Because we are simply exceptional. And everyone else is just not like us.
It's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the floor.
You really got to do it.
40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
Now, again, we got to go back to Jasmine Crockett.
53% approval rating. It's higher than it's ever been. 70% believe that he's fulfilling his promises, and 45% believe Democrats should be more moderate. What do you take away? I think there's a lot to make of those numbers. What's your
takeaway? Look at her face. Look at her face. What's your takeaway? What you think she got to say?
Takeaway from that?
My takeaway is just like the election. We've got to do better at education. People don't understand, but you will understand when.
No. See, here's the problem. You need to do a better job of listening, and you need to do a better job of listening to the American public. We do not need your education. This many million of people that did so, the 80 plus million that voted for Donald Trump and the 90 plus million that stayed home, you're not smarter than that many people. So why are you, the first thing out of your mouth is that many people have to be educated? You mean to tell me that they didn't know what they were voting for? Ooh, Kevin Samuels definitely coined something here. And I guess they think they can use this type of attitude to get past the truth. But this is modern woman talking. Because what she just did, first, watch how she'll ignore the fact that America's, because I'm so glad she set her up that way. But she knew what she was doing too. So America, and this is the numbers of America's approval. Well, America has to be more educated. That's the very first thing you say. They approve of what they are living.
Of those numbers, what's your takeaway from that?
My takeaway is just like the election. We've got to do better at education. People don't understand, but you will understand when those hospitals in rural America start closing down.
I'm in a city, and let me tell you something about hospitals closing down. They're not. But here's a problem that you have. We've had doctors on strike. We've had nurses on strike. Almost every school board or school system in this region, which of course we're in a Democrat coast. Number one is operating at a deficit. Also, all have went on strike. So to say we'll start learning, matter of fact, I'm not sure if our nurses and doctors have came to an agreement. So they might actively still be striking. So that's, we've had Kaiser strike. We have, Legacy and Providence strike. So the big Catholic hospitals and the big corporation hospitals, they're having issues. And OSHU, which is our big college, they have all kind of campuses and whatnot. They life flight people in here to go to that hospital. Guess what? They're talking strike too. So again, when you're telling us about, you will learn when these hospitals start closing in rural areas, I'm in a major city. And these fancy dancy hospitals are having issues. But they're having issues because of your economy, Democrats. You cannot blame that on the Republicans. That is you. You had sole control. What you're seeing happen now is sole control. You guys refuse to do it, but I take that back. The main objective was illegal aliens, not American citizens. That's where you failed. Stop blaming everyone else. This is Democrat victimhood at its finest. And Jasmine Crockett, if you're a representative of the notion that's coming out of the Democrats, you will not win another election until after 2030.
Even more, you will understand when you don't have your Social Security. You will understand when your Medicaid, your Medicare goes away. You will understand.
She doesn't understand all of this fear mongering that she's doing right now, talking about Medicare and all of this going away. If it doesn't, what talking point do Democrats, and especially Black Democrat shills like Roland Martin, what do you have left to do? how long will you ignore the American public? All I can say is the more you want to go down that road and stay ignoring what America is telling you, well, again, start getting your candidate, start looking at middle school, because that's going to be about your best bet on your new wave of candidates. So start looking at those smart 13-year-olds, the smart 12 and 14-year-olds. That's your best bet. These guys are done. They're in their 30s and 40s. This is it. And Joe Biden is already out of office and lost. So what are you going to do? Because this can't win. This right here is a overt L. And it muddies your water and chances. Get this tether out the paint. Her and AOC are albatrosses around your neck. Can't win with these.
Understand as planes continue to fall out of the sky. Soon you will understand why it's important to maybe have somebody that isn't loud and ridiculous, and maybe Sleepy Joe is what we wanted because we could at least sleep at night.
I sleep just fine. And maybe Sleepy Joe is what we needed because we could sleep at night. Thank you, Jasmine. I think we do a lot of good work. Good kids like Jasmine. She's really a good kid. She's one of those bright ones. She's really smart. She's good. She's clean. She's smart. She can speak so well. Jill, not necessarily Jill's first choice, because Jill absolutely has disdain for black women. But I mean, yeah, I think we might try. Yeah, Sleepy Joe's the best bet, Jasmine. You got it. Sure. Yeah, Sleepy Joe's the best. That's right. All right. How's about that? Eesh. Okay. Now, moving away from Jasmine Crockett, I have a few more things I want to play, but one, we hit this now. You know what? I think I'm going to do this way. Hold on real quick. Yeah, we are. These people, I'm not certain of what goes through people's minds, but they be saying all kind of off the wall, bizarre stuff. I guess I know why they're saying it. It's based and rooted out of jealousy. But these people are talking about how black Americans can't do this. Black Americans can't do that. Black Americans, of course, foundational Black Americans are the talk of the world right now, when all of these people can't stand it. So what do they need to do? Start talking about how deficient we are, and something that we do, they do better. And well, there was a video I came across. Actually, a couple. So we're going to hit a couple. And they have some things to say about us. Very interesting, though. So the first one I'll play. She has a comment to say about our food. And that we don't know how to cook. Although we were the country's cooks for hundreds of years. Then we're also going to play another video by another podcast that for some reason thinks Burner Boy would have smoked Kendrick Lamar. When I hear that, I'm like, well, damn, why didn't he do it at the Grammys? Oh, that's because America don't really rock with Afrobeat like that. So, yeah, I guess if Super Bowl was in Cameroon, then maybe that would make sense. But since it's American sport with American players, and it's an American pastime, maybe it's going to be an American artist, not an African. These people try to insert themselves in everything. But, I mean, again, that's the whole purpose.
It's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the flow.
You really got to do it.
40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
So without further ado, let me play their intro.
Oh, Black Americans, if you know what you are doing, step back. If you don't know what you are doing, please step forward. Americans, Black Americans, 99% of you do not know how to cook. Yes, argue in the comment section. Mo just say, when I not sabi cook, you cannot cook, and I will tell you why you cannot cook. Because every time I see someone from America preparing something, they are constantly packing it with unnecessary ingredients. When I say ingredients, I mean spices, seasoning, herbs. Like, come on now, and you call that food. You want to season one chicken. You use abodo. You use all-purpose. You use this one. You use that one. You use, like, come on now. All those ingredients, they already have the same thing. They are just manipulating you guys to think that they have something different. It is a lie. Emma Parayi. Tori election ni obesity. You guys cannot cook. You do not know how to cook. And you expect that when Kid Lee comes to the UK, he's going to come and find the same kind of food that has led you guys to obesity in America, in the UK. I'm sorry, it does not work like that. It does not work like that. Like I said, I give the comment section because I've got time. Other way, peace.
Tuck me up there, push me, as it's push me, babe. It's push me, babe. It's push me, babe. It's push me, babe. Cook me up some bush meat. We can't cook. You Black Americans, you can't cook. Well, you put all these spices and the herbs. What are the herbs and spices? You don't need all of that. You just take the chicken out the package and you throw it in the oven and you cook it. Don't need it. The chicken and the dirt from the chicken is all the seasoning you need. Jeez, listen to these nuts. And that's why, we don't have malaria over here. I can just say that. Anyway, moving on to the next. The one who was talking about Burner Boy. Burner Boy do so much better. No. These people are delusional. And again, it's the Super Bowl. Since when have they had that? There's not an overboatload of Africans. Matter of fact, you guys, this guy is Emmanuel Acho. And he said he wanted to come over here and learn American culture when he got here. Because he learned white culture first. Anyway, here's what they got to say.
So for that kind of event, it wouldn't be so cool to have whiskey. We would need Burna Boy, we need Rema, even Ashake, even Shay Vibes. Sorry.
Please, Shay who? How? Where?
So do what?
Please don't. This is serious business. This is serious business here.
Sorry.
Like the Super Bowl is the Super Bowl is one of the pinnacle of perform. Like no. Down. This is serious business here.
Is a joke to you or what?
I'm not saying he's a joke, but this is it's serious business here. And Shay Vibes is just not just that guy.
Perform in Agege or where?
I'm not saying perform in Agege. You can perform at Headies Award. You can perform at Mobile Awards. But the Super Bowl is not the level that Shay Vibes. He's not. He can't.
I'm not.
He can't. That. I watched the Super Bowl over the weekend and I saw what Kendrick did. That performance, for me, the whole performance, it looked good, it looked nice, but it could have been better. It was mid. If Burna Boy had performed at this last Super Bowl, he would give Kendrick a serious run for his money. Burna Boy would have done 10 times a better job that Kendrick Lamar did at the Super Bowl in 2024.
And you are on Cat. Ain't that stuff they be doing over there, Cat? You must be on that Cat. Or maybe you're on something like this guy's on.
Abaana abaali bakasazo nga tukyasoma baavu. Wallahi ebyana ebyasembanga biina ssente bisinga. Kati bali Allah yabawa magezi, kati ate bano n'abawa ssente.
Ooh, definitely not sure what was going on there. Who's gonna tell her, as they say? Lord. Yeah, that's not what you want there, Missy. Oh, man. And so let's see. We got a couple more things we got to show y'all. Oh, this lady here. Yeah. Let me get to this. Hold on. Let me get this in here. Okay, so yeah, there's a couple more things we got to hit before we skedaddle. This lady is talking about she's trying to convolute immigrants with Black Americans because they're Black. So she's trying to, Black Americans, slow roll there. Because in now listen to what she says, because I listened to this morning as I was getting my stuff together for the day, and something that stuck out about what she says. She says that these people are actually Jamaican that she's referring to. So I want you to hear this because she sneaks it in real quick. I hope you guys catch it, but listen to what she's trying to say, because here's more of the this must be a Democrat play, trying to get out there as a Black person and then start talking about Black issues and then start blurring the lines between us and illegals. So, and then trying to, they not just looking for them, they looking for Black folks. This is a ploy to get Black people to start speaking out and saying, hey, don't come to our neighborhoods. Why would we do that? So then they can start coming and flooding and hiding under our umbrella. This is trying to get us to play security guard again. But listen to this.
On Thursday, ICE detained American citizens, a military veteran, and one of my colleagues and her son, who is 8 years old. Now, my colleague and her son are Black American citizens. They have Jamaican ancestry. They were detained for over 24 hours. That's how long it took us and lawyers to get them out of ICE detainment. And the son now has extensive trauma, and they are Black Americans. I'm not sitting this out. I just said in another video, I'm not sitting anything out because our community is going to need us. Black Americans were detained. That means they're not going after just people who are illegals, as you want to call them. They're going after whoever they can. And the 14th Amendment was an amendment that gave Black people birthright citizenship that were descendants of slaves. So if that is repealed and they go after one group, who do you think they're going after next? I'm not sitting anything out. Not when my community is going to need me. I'm not going to do it.
You just said they were Jamaican. How are they Black American? See what she did there? And on top of that, where's the proof of this story even being true? So she's saying that they're detaining. See, this is what they keep trying to do. And then this is how you kind of know she's lying, is when she gets to the last part. That's the same Democrat fear monger tactic where, what do you think when they trying to they're not abolishing the 14th Amendment. They are going back to the original intent of the 14th Amendment. So you can't say after they go after these people, who do you think is next for them to go after? Well, it wouldn't be the people that 14th Amendment is intended for, because it's the 14th Amendment because of those people, not these illegals and not the people you're trying to integrate into our plight. So again, pay attention to when you got these type of folks coming around you lying like that, because what she just did is a lie. They ain't no, well, ICE just came in the train and they got Jamaican ancestry and they're citizens. How do we know? And how do we know that they got detained by ICE and kept? You had to go, and the kid is traumatized. Was the kid born here in America, or was he brought here? Because when you say Jamaican ancestry doesn't put a kid born in America in that boat. So how did that happen? Because I'm telling you right now, these people have Social Security enforcement along with their detainment system. So they're not rounding up randoms. That's BS. So when you hear this, notice how you're not seeing any of these videos pop up of randos. Notice in this day and age, this is 2025. All we have is a woman and these random people doing TikTok videos saying, somebody I know had this happen to him. That's all they're doing. Where's the video of them doing it? Show me somebody who's not supposed to be detained, being detained. See, they're gonna keep doing this, and this is to fear monger you. And once again, it's a ploy to get black energy. Because what does she do? Oh yeah, who they gonna go after next? You already know. See, I can't sit down for my community. Oh no, I got to stand up. I got to fight for my community. Get the hell out of here. Y'all asses was quiet 5 months ago. You were only fighting for Kamala. Now all of a sudden these people are fighting for their community? Get out of here. That's comical. No, you're fighting for the Democrat agenda, and that ain't your community. So either you black or you a Democrat. You're going to have to make a choice. But you can't keep taking us into conversations we don't want to be. We are foundational black Americans about our own agenda. And our agenda does not involve fighting for anybody else at all. Now, when I say our agenda doesn't cause for fight for anybody else, let me tell you something. When we sit our butts down and stop fighting for everyone, watch who starts coming out and starts saying, hey, we should not fear monger, but you need to be scared. We had the black woman already. Let's take a look.
People like to call it fear-mongering, right? But it's not. It's just the reality of the situation we find ourselves in. And it's very inconvenient. Because on one hand, you have the conversation around Canada and Justin Trudeau's hot mic where he basically says, Canada's taking these threats very seriously. And people are like, that means Canada's preparing for war. And it's like, even if Canada's not, there are so many other fronts of things that are going on right now that it's kind of unavoidable. It's kind of inevitable. I mean, they talk about the revolution being inevitable. The revolution will be televised. Kendrick Lamar said that. So if you guys truly think that of all the wars that are possible to happen with us, that one of them is not revolution/civil war, y'all are just not paying attention at all.
Now, she's talking about revolution and civil war, but then she mentions Kendrick Lamar. That's kind of interesting now there, isn't it? Well, Kendrick Lamar told you. Huh. But then she's talking about civil war and all of this. What does that mean? Listen, y'all better pay attention. You ain't got no friends over there. And again, America has firmly spoken. So to people like that, Jasmine Crockett and all the rest of y'all, America's spoken. Black America's most definitely spoken. No tangibles, no vote. And more importantly, that other crap that y'all keep pushing on us, it's all good for you to do. But realistically, we see the evil in it and we see the nature in it. And we ain't aligned with Satan. Y'all are. And your minions too. Even the black ones. But I will have to firmly tell you, but we were warning people that would be a problem and be the case. Well, never fear, folks. The grassroots did not disappoint. The voices of new black media most definitely told you the truth. And this is the reality of the Democrats. And because of things like this is why the Democrats will not see positive election cycles at least 2030, maybe even beyond. Because I don't know how you recover from doing wicked, evil, blasphemous, demonic BS like this.
Y'all, this really gonna piss y'all off for real. Cause not only does my ID say female, so does my birth certificate.
And because of these wicked Democrats, these transformers can turn around and deceive a future partner. Hopefully you look at that one and figure that one out. But I mean, just the point that someone can do that. Their birth certificates say female. They were not born a female. So their birth certificate's a lie. And this is what the Democrats have put into the mix. When you start doing that type of lying, I'm sorry, but those type of folks clearly hate the Most High. And I cannot align myself with none of that. But the one true thing about that we know, one of the reasons why we shouldn't be associated with anything like that. Look at the times we are in. If you have some kind of wisdom about yourself, you should be able to measure that one. So when you have got this place, which is spiritual Egypt and spiritual Sodom, and in all reality, the remaking of Rome and Babylon, when you are in such a scenario such as this, aligning yourself up with people that would say, we want a future where boys that transform later into women can double back, change their birth certificate, and now fool a prospective or a future could be possible spouse. They think they might be getting children. And in all actuality, they getting a mutilated man. If you can't understand how wicked that is, you are most definitely part of the 2/3 club. So enjoy. While the rest of us look to the east and scream from the mountaintops that Babylon is fallen, Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? And with madness like that, y'all might say, well, man, you too hard. That's too rough. You can't be doing nothing like that. I beg to differ. See, you have to stand for something at some point. And if you can't understand standing for your own, standing for your family's futures, there ain't no future in a man that changes his birth certificate to reflect what he's living at the moment. So if he is a she now, she wasn't born a she. She was born a he. Anybody that you want to put in a ring or change your name and marry you should know that information up front. But we live in a world and society that tells you, well, it's my body, it's my choice, and I don't need to tell you nothing. I don't need to tell you anything about anything you're going to invest your life in. I want you to support and protect and defend me with your life, but I'm not going to tell you the truth. If you subscribe to that idiotic nonsense, I speak for myself. Beatzilla PDX Official, the Beatzilla PDX Official Show. Those of you in the chat, the grassroots and the voices of new black media. I am absolutely positive. I am safe when I say I speak for all parties involved when we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And also, family, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket, you can do so by way of CashApp, $, beatzillapdx. We also have PayPal, which is Zilla Music at PayPal. That's ZILLAMUZAK. And always remember, hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
And for those of you, especially the one lady who I believe is lying, talking about Black America. Well, number one, they're not Black American. Are they citizens? Who knows? They're not Black American. They're Jamaican Americans. And that's fine. And especially if they're legal citizens, that they're Jamaican American citizens. Fine. Doesn't make them Black American. You doing the most trying to integrate them because see, another thing that they're trying to do, that's why they're reintroducing HR 40. They're trying to get these other tethers tethered into our reparations. And hell no. And for those of your family members that are not legal, hashtag fire up the jet. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. So also, family, make sure you go over to my new channel, Zilla Perspectives. Zilla Perspectives. There is a new video up if you have not seen it already. This video right here, you might want to go see it. And it's also on a podcast as well. I am going to be also dueling on this channel. So this will be Zilla Perspectives will be, of course, on the Zilla Perspectives channel, but it also will be available for podcasts as well. And that is on, let me take a look at this real quick. I believe it eventually. Actually, you should be able to find this on Spotify. So you should be able to find and iTunes, by the way. But that'll be the Zilla Perspectives podcast. And let's see that. Podbean. 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 You can go to Podbean as well, and you can find the Zilla Perspective podcast. So what you will see, or what you will hear, you'll see this thumbnail, and you will also hear the same as what you're hearing there. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing to both channels. And we are going to be back later on this week. Make sure you keep your notification bells on. And always remember what we are talking about when we say they not like us.
It's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the floor. 40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
Most definitely is. Families, stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Wait a minute. Let me do something here. Bam. Shalom, y'all. Have a blessed rest of the week. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.